There was a detail that came out. Susan Slusser reported this. I'm very excited about this. Universal DH was proposed and seems okay for both sides, I'm told, unless tied to something else as a bargaining chip. Almost assuredly would go through. Well, I wanted to jump up and down, Carlos, when I heard this news. And the first name that came to mind for me, Albert Pujols, going back to St. Louis. Saying it for a long time.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be the cherry on top of the Hall of Fame?
See, and I just thought of Nolan Gorman's. That's how our minds work.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about him a little later in the show, Dan. But what do you think, Carlos? This is positive news coming from the talks on Thursday.
See, well, ultimately, what exactly do both sides want? Is success, right? We want this industry to keep on going forward. So positive for both sides. Well, the DH is one of those things that we can all agree that helps baseball. It's going to be more exciting as far as offense is concerned if you're that guy, unless you're a baseball purist who likes those, low-scoring games. But I think for the most part, the young people want to see offense. They want to see a lot of action. The DH brings that, all right? Also opens up, if you think about the player side, a lot more options for players to play for a longer period of time. There is more money funneling towards the player side. So this is win-win. I was so excited when I heard this.
Yeah, Carlos, one thing we don't talk about with the DH, I think it prolongs health. Because I think your National League players now, because other than Nelson Cruz and some Albert Pujols, some really guys you look at and say that's a DH, it's kind of morphed into a position where you take your star players. You build depth on your roster, and you take your star players, and you can rest those players periodically through the course of the season through the DH roles, which I also think sustains careers over the course of the long term. We have way outgrown pitchers hitting. They don't practice it. It's a skill they've lost. The injuries that mount up with pitchers hitting are detrimental to our game. I'm so excited about this, and I really think it affects some National League clubs a lot.
When you say prolonged health, I want to start there because there's one player that moved to center field and didn't seem like it worked out because he wanted his injured shoulder to not have too many diving plays, and that's Fernando Tatis Jr., which I think is the #1 star in baseball right now, Dan. If you have a designated hitter in the National League and you don't have to think about putting him in the outfield, he can play maybe 120 games at shortstop.
Agree.
Do you think that this helps a player like Fernando?
I think it helps Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, Tatis, any of your star players, just to get off your feet and not have to go through the grind of 9 innings. I think it prolongs all of their careers and makes them better players, too, because they'll play at more of 100% of their health rather than some lesser percentage of their health.
This is great. And the opportunity that it presents to all the players.
I mean, look at other teams. For me, free agency-wise, this really affects a guy like Freddie Freeman because not only maybe the Braves then move off of their perceived angst with the years of service, years contract length that they want. But it also puts a team like the Dodgers in play for him because without the DH and having Muncy and Turner, you go where are the at-bats? With the DH, it changes the complexion of how they might be able to be more aggressive in their pursuit of him.
That's fascinating. So what would you do with this Dodger lineup? You would DH who? Justin Turner or Max Muncy?
I would rotate for me Muncy, Turner, and Freeman between first, third, and the DH, because Muncy, for me, has the ability to move over and play third.
Okay, let's play this game again. What about the New York Mets with Robinson Cano coming back off the suspension?
It's not just Cano.
Yeah, they've got a log jam.
Yeah, it's not just Cano, though. It's Dominic Smith. It's Alonso, because Smith is a gold glove type first baseman. I mean, he can really play first. It's Jeff McNeil. It's J.D. Davis. They have a variety of guys that could be plugged into that DH.
So if they have a DH, who would you DH with the New York Mets?
Well, I would rotate. I mean, you would have Alonso to DH, and then Smith will play first base, but you also get the chance of Cano playing DH. McNeil goes to second, and everyone gets rest. So at the end of the day, it's good for the ball club. And it's good for baseball. I love this, by the way. I was taking
it's a win-win.
I was hitting off the tee, by the way, the other day.
You're still in great shape, Carlos.
Yeah, and I heard this news. I was like, hey, what?
Yeah, you got 30 teams looking for a DH, not just 15 anymore. What about the San Francisco Giants? The best record in all of baseball.
Love it.
A veteran team. When you look up and down, would you rotate this role?
Well, what it allows me to do with the Giants is add another bat. I still feel there's another bat that's missing from this lineup. But they were kind of boxed on what to do with it. DH creates the flexibility of them adding another bat because all their position player guys are so multi-dimensional how many positions they can play. I think it's a great fit for the Giants.
And they need a right-handed bat.
They need a right-handed bat.
Yeah, a guy that loves to hit in San Francisco. It probably had too much wear and tear on his lower half from squatting behind home plate. If I only knew a guy. Buster Posey. Maybe they could call him back and be like, well, the landscape of baseball has changed, but
go ahead and
reconsider this retirement thing. The other guy that stands out to me is Joey Votto. Joey Votto had a resurgent 2021, and now you're looking at down the line, this team can be competitive. He doesn't have to bounce around at first base.
Yeah, this is good.
Puts Moustakas over at first. It gives them a ton of flexibility.
But it all starts with me with Albert Pujols. If this DH is a for sure thing, him going back to St. Louis, right off into the sunset, one more year with Yachty and Waino.
It is a nice story. Yeah, it would be great.
Not happening, but it's a nice story.
Oh, you keep saying that? It's going to happen.